Hello, judges. So, today I'm going to give you a brief introduction on how you can get started with and experiment with our submission for Hack This Fall, which is Web3 Bounties. I think I've named it differently here, which is, oh, no, it's Web3 Bounties here also. So, yeah, this is basically a smart contract which allows freelancers and people who want to to hire freelancers to interact and basically get their jobs done. So I have submitted this GitHub gist, which should allow you to go to the remix ID if you click on this URL here. And after this you will see the complete code for the smart contract, and you can also deploy and run it if you want to. So I'll just give you a quick introduction on how you can do that and what we have built here. So once you go to the gist and click on this URL, you can hit save here, which should automatically compile the smart contract for you. And if you click on the Ethereum icon over here, you will see various environments and a bunch of things here which might look confusing at the start, but they are not that confusing. So the default environment generally is JavaScript VM London, which is fine for now since we will just be experimenting within the IDE itself. Now you can click on deploy here. So the default contract after being compiled, which should be selected here, it should be like Web3 Fiber, which is the internal name I've provided to this contract here. If you click on deploy, that should deploy the smart contract. You should see a check mark here, something like that, and then you should see a bunch of functions here. Let me try to zoom the page in. Okay, cool. So uh, we have these functions like add bounty, add solution, approve solution, reject solution, get bounties, get solutions, and get unsolved bounties. So I'll explain what each of these does. So the first one, which is the most important for people who are coming in and want to see all the problems which are there, which they can interact with, they will be looking at get bounties. So bounties just returns all of the bounties that we have currently stored on the smart contract. Right now it will be an empty array, which is expected because I haven't added any bounties yet. If we do get unsolved bounties, it will return all of the unsolved bounties, which should also be an empty array, which is expected. So right now, let's add a bounty. So there are various like measures in Ethereum for uh, coins like Fine and Gwei and Ether. So right now we'll just use Fine, and one Fine is approximately 0.01 Ether, I think. So we'll choose one Fine here. I think I'll go for 10 for now. And then we'll add a bounty here. Let's say we add a title. Hey, I need some parsing work done, and the problem statement would be, hey, I need some work done, here's some data, check the link, and we assume that the user adds a HTTPS link here. I mean, it's up to the user completely. And on clicking transact, the data is successfully added. We can now get bounties and get that data in here. So yeah, basically blah blah blah, the user has added some data, and then it just returns the complete data in a format which is defined here, like basically the bounties title, which is, hey, I need some work done, then the problem statement, which is like here's the link, etc., etc., then the price of the problem, which is uh, 10 to the power something y, I think, and then the asker's address, which is this 0x thing, and then whether the problem is approved and all that. So, I mean, if we click on get unsolved problems, we'll also see it here. So users can come in and have a look at all of the problems which are available for them to solve. You can also have a look at all of the solutions which have been submitted right now. So the problem ID for this would be 0 since it's the 0th problem there, and then if we get the solutions for that, it's still empty. So I can try adding a solution over here. So let's say my bounty ID that what I want to have a look at is the 0th one, and then I'll just add a solution statement like, hey man, I've faced this before. Here's a working example, and then an example link, for example, and then we can transact this. So the yellow ones basically go with some gas fee. The red ones are also payable, like you add some money, which we had done previously. So the users like add their solution, and then I mean the problem setter can have a look at the solutions which have been submitted. So okay, I see that it's there, and okay, I've faced this before, and you know it's the right solution to my problem. So I go to approve solution. The solution ID would also be 0 because it's the first one. The bounty ID is 0, and the payment type, let's say. So yeah, payment type is basically payment type 0 means that the pay gets the gets all of the money, and payment type 1 means that if like the problem has, I mean the solution has been there for 14 days and the problem setter doesn't reply, then the payment will get distributed among all of the people who had submitted a solution. Otherwise, basically, the problem setter can only approve a solution, which is in the code, which you can have a look at. So I'll just say payment type 0 for now and transact. And that should transfer the money to me. So, I mean, you can keep a track of the Ethereum here, which should give give an indication of how the money is being moved around. So if we have a look at get bounties again, I think it should be true that the problem is approved gets and get unsolved bounties now returns an empty array because that got solved. And similarly, you can like reject a solution like you have approved it. And then if you are rejecting a solution, then when we are distributing money among the people, if you don't reply after a while, then it only gets distributed among those who aren't rejected. So that's how it works. It's completely anonymous because it only stores the wallet address. We don't store any personal details here unless the user decides to add them in reasons. Or I mean, like if you're rejecting, you want to say why you rejected it. If you're adding a solution and then you add a link, maybe some data goes in there. So yeah, that's how it would work mostly. And thanks. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.